verse 22, before the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities of the plain are destroyed, they had gotten in this war, and Abraham saves their skin, honestly, goes and gets back Lot and his family and saves all these folks, and this king of Sodom offers him the war, and Abraham tells him, I don't want anything you have to offer. He refuses the war to king of Sodom. Proofs of Abraham's faith. Proofs of Abraham's faith. They just naturally came, by the way. They just naturally came. But church, understand, there's a point there, and I hadn't even thought about it until this moment. It'll be the same for us. We won't try to do those things. They'll just naturally come. If you take those steps of faith, it'll be evident. It'll be evident. And understand also, if you don't take those steps of faith, that also will be evident. It's evident whether we take steps of faith or not. If you take that step of faith, the proofs of those faith steps will be evident. Number two, secondly, go to Genesis 12:2. God calls Abram to a life of fruitfulness. Life of fruitfulness. Understand this today. God places great importance on fruitfulness. You don't believe that? Take some time today. Look at John chapter 15, verses 1 through 8, and see what Jesus says about fruitfulness. Fruitfulness. God calls Abram to a life of fruitfulness. In calling Abram to leave where he is to go, to the place that God will show him, there are some promises that are made along the way. Will the journey be an easy one? No, it will not. But God promises that he will be with him along the way, that he will bring blessings to him all along the way. Will it happen all at once? No, at once. Church, understand this. God's blessings never happen all at once. God's blessings happen because we're faithful and obedient to him. Many folks don't understand why God's blessings are not on them, or understand God's blessings many times are not on you if you're not obedient. God does not reward disobedience, church. You understand what I'm saying? I woke the baby, I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? You want God's blessings, it's time to be obedient. It's time to be obedient. First promise of blessing comes to him here. Notice what he says there. I will make you a great nation. God says, I will make you a great nation. You see what verse 4 said? We didn't read that till just a moment ago. Did you see how old was Abraham when he left here? He was 75 years old. 75 years old. Well, that'll tell you something, huh? Moses was 80 when he led the children of Israel out of Egypt. Oh, you know what? I've said this before, but it's just worth saying again. You know what? Our just because we're old or older doesn't mean that God still can't use you. We need to pray to be like Moses. Moses didn't start well, but you know what? He ended well. Go to Deuteronomy, the last chapter of Deuteronomy, and it says that the testimony about Moses' life was there was no one like him since that time. He was a man of God. We may not start well, but you know what? We can end well, and age shouldn't be a factor there. Age shouldn't be a factor. God promises, I'll bless you and make you a great nation. God does bring compensation.